Hey, friends. What is today? Thursday? Yes. Wow, it is Thursday. Can you believe it's already Thursday? I feel like this week has flown by. Patricia, hey, ma'am. Hey, Cynthia Jack. Hey, sweet Donnie. Yes, Patricia. Patricia says, hey, y'all. Vinny was filling me in on Delphi. I'm surprised they released that video. How heartbreaking, those poor girls. And allegedly, people have heard the Idaho 4 911 call. So many developments recently. So the 911 call, I don't know if it was heard. I know they have a transcript of it that we went over the other day during the Koberger hearing or Koberger live stream that I did. But is there an audio of it out now? Or just the transcript? But the Delphi video, the girls on the bridge, it was definitely not what I expected. And let me see. There's a channel called Criminality. Hold on, I gotta put some chapstick on. Man, my lips are so dry. Okay, so I saw it first on Criminalities yesterday or last night, yesterday. And I heard it and thought to myself, they don't seem scared. Like in my mind, it made me think that they knew the man or had, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. And then I heard it again later last night on the Mob Crew, who's another channel that I follow specifically for Sebastian Rogers information. And he was sharing it. And then the way that the chat was talking and the things he was saying, it kind of made me think maybe they were scared. And did they say something? Because I didn't hear anything about a firearm in the first time I heard it. And then when I heard it on the Mob Cruise channel, I was like, maybe they are saying something about it. A pew pew, you know? So I don't. Either way, it just is heartbreaking to hear their voices in the video, you know? They just sound like little babies. They sound like little babies. And it's just, oh, God. It breaks my heart. And I was telling QB right after the trial had ended for Richard Allen, we were still talking about it off and on, and I was like, I gotta like poof it out of my mind. I gotta poof it, like poof, out of my mind. Because I wanted, like, not that I knew the girls, because I did not, but I think that all of the people invested in the case want a little bit of closure on it, you know, and I can't even imagine how the families feel, right? But and now it's like all these things are coming out again. I just have still so many questions, and I don't know that I don't think the jury got it right. But then again, I don't know. I don't know. Let me see who else has popped in. Hey, Morgana Banana. Hey, Brenda. I'm doing well, friend. I'm doing well. It is crazy that it's already Thursday. A couple YouTubers claim to have heard it. I think they got it from FOIA requests and they haven't released it yet. Oof. Ay, ay, ay. I'm surprised, though, because They haven't lifted the entire gag order, have they? I don't know. I think if they have stuff sealed, then I don't think that they would. I don't know. I mean, you would think if they have the transcript out that they would have the actual audio available too, but I don't know. Anybody else popped in? Hey, Gail. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Kel. Hello, darling. Hello, darling. Nice to see you. It's been a long time. All right, you guys, we're going to get back into the snow plow shooting trial. Good morning, Miss King. Good morning. Yeah, make sure when you guys pop in that you hit the thumbs up button, please. I would appreciate it. It would just melt my heart if you would hit that thumbs up button for me. So anyway, we are on day 2 of this trial. I do have a part 2 scheduled. It's unlisted right now. I don't have it like public because I'll probably need to change the time on it depending on when they come back for lunch. So I do have a part 2 stream like ready, but I'm going to keep it unlisted until I know exactly when they're coming back from lunch because, you know, we still have virtual math class. Kiddo goes back to school at the end of this month, like in-person school. You guys, we had our little picnic yesterday. It was so cute. It was so cute. She had such fun. So much fun. She went and got she's got a little wooden, like, Easter basket. And, but it's a bigger basket, you know. And because it was too close to dinner time, it was just a snack picnic. So we had some cut up fruit and some crackers and some juice. And we had a little snack picnic. But we took our basket out. We took a blanket out to sit on. And we sat out there and had a cute little picnic. It was so much fun. And come to find out, my child actually finally ate kiwi. And she loved it. I told her the other day, I'm like, you will love this. You will love this kiwi. I know you will. She would not. No, sir. And then yesterday, she's like, okay. So she tried it and she was like, She liked it. So I was excited about that. Hey, Elizabeth. Good to see you, doll. Hello. Popping in, a little Miss Thing. Hey, do your thing. I don't know where she's been. I'm going to have to go hunt that little heifer down, Morgana. I don't know. Hey, Margaret. Hey, Chrissy. Sherry Jones. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. How are you, Miss Elizabeth? Also, I did not go back to the graveyard to walk last night. And I told Dale, I said, I think, I'll just walk around the yard when we get done with our picnic. Well, walking out to the shaded part of the yard, it was, the moles have been busy. Let me just say, the moles have already been busy. And I would have broken an ankle if I would have tried to just walk for actual physical activity out there in the yard. So, he wanted to come in and get dinner started. So, instead of going to the graveyard to walk, I came into the bedroom, moved my office chair out of the way, so I had space here in front of my desk, and pulled up a little walk fit video on YouTube. And I got in about 1,200 steps, maybe. I know that's not a lot, but it is for me. So I raised my step goal a little bit. So that was exciting. The moles are awful. I know. I'm telling you, you either break an ankle when you go outside in the yard, or you fall 10 feet down a hole. Moles are awful. They're everywhere, too. All right. Now that I got through all of that, I will get started on day 2. All right. I know that the wife of the victim is supposed to come up today. First thing, I think. They were going to call her yesterday, but then the judge was like, nah, it's too late. We'll just wait till tomorrow. Yes, I do, Kel. I have to get the stamina up for the retreat, because otherwise, I'm telling you, last year I had a rough time. Yes, Morgana. Actually, no, Morgana. Actually, no. Come to find out, the day that they're going to the zoo is I'll be at the retreat. So, Elizabeth, the one in Michigan. Hey, Melinda. The one in Michigan. So, yeah, the day that they have it, I will already be gone for the retreat. So, I didn't even, they said the end of April, the school did to begin with. Well, then they changed their mind. I think it was full on the day they wanted to go, and they wanted to go on a Friday. So, they had to bump it to the next week, and I'll be gone. So, oh, okay, Elizabeth. Well, nice. Margaret said, I'll walk with you through the zoo. Am I going to have to go with Miss Little? Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to have to figure something out, because I'd love for her to go. But Dale will be home because I'll be at the retreat. So he always takes a couple days off work when I go. And what was I going to say? Oh, and as far as, we don't have a sitter for Big Kiddo. And Big Kiddo doesn't fare well with walking a lot. He don't have the physical capability to walk that much. So, anyway, it's just a thing. It's a thing. No. Kel sent a picture of a zebra she saw at the zoo, and that was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. It was gross. I didn't think they were that what's the word? Endowed? Is that the right word? Gross. That was disgusting. He had a whole nother leg, man. That was gross. Kel. It was, oh my God. I love zebras, but not the male zebras. No, thank you. They can stay away. I've seen an elephant, but not an elephant schwank. Right, Donnie? You. Ba-dum-bum. It's nature, right? Spins its, but still it's gross. Mm, it's a fifth leg for real. Well, I mean, that zebra, you need to have Elizabeth or Kel send Elizabeth that photo, please. It was disgusting. Disgusting. All right, we got to get started. We are almost 20 minutes it tripod. It's a built-in kickstand. That's what it looked. Oh my god, I'm getting a cramp up under my boob. I'm getting a cramp right up under my boob. Oh my god, y'all are killing me. Stop it. The before and after pics. Yes, Kel, do it. Send it to Elizabeth right now. All right, you guys. Oh, God. Right, Morgana? That zebra was like, hey, baby. Come feed me some hay. Or whatever they eat. I don't know what zebras eat. Okay, I'm just being... Oh, my God, right. Patricia said, I knew that comment about the kickstand was Morgana without even seeing the chat. There you go. Thank God Steph isn't here because Steph would be all over that. All right, we're going to go. We're going to go. I'm ignoring the chat for the next couple minutes. Let's do this, okay? We're going to go. Trial. Here we go. Behave yourselves.
We ready to bring the jury out? Okay, let's proceed.
What? What?
Please rise. We're seating at the jury panel.
What do they move it around like they do their trunk? Just swing it around however they want to? What in the name of all that's... What? Margaret, it has.
Ladies, be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all had a nice evening. I want to start by thanking you all. My people tell me everybody was here right on time. We're greatly appreciate that. So thank you very much. And now we're ready to proceed. Attorney Barth, are you ready to call the state's next witness?
I am. Angela Violette.
Very good.
Okay, so this is Angela Violette. She's the wife of the victim. The mama to the daughter that we saw on the stand yesterday. Thank you, Margaret. You are the moderator of the moderators. I'm not looking in the mod chat, you guys. I'm not doing it. You can't make me. Sheesh. Oh, great. Now
The witness stand in this courtroom is up to just to the left of the judge. If you could approach the witness stand, face the judge, and remain standing for your oath, please.
You raise your right hand. You swear that any testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury.
I do.
You can be seated right there. Please just be a favor and scoot up to the microphone.
Sure.
And try to keep your voice up.
Okay.
Hi. I made my first mistake of the day and calling you as Angela Violette. Could you state and spell your name for the court record, please?
Angela LaChance, first name Angela, the last name is Lachance.
I want to ask you some questions about your relationships, and I understand that your last name is not Violette, it's LaChance, but who do you consider yourself with?
Kyle Violet,
How long have you guys been together?
22 years.
And do you have a family together?
We do 2 children.
Can you give me just their ages?
My son is 15, my daughter is 18.
And I don't think we need to get in too much to your son. My understanding, he did not witness directly events here, but we met your daughter yesterday.
Yes,
What's her name?
Kendra, Violette.
And where do you guys live?
43 Summer Street, Rochester.
Who do you live there with?
Kyle, Violet, and our 2 children.
We had heard yesterday.
Why did they go? No audio. Why did they turn the audio off? You guys. We can't hear her. I have my volume all the way up. Why can't we hear it? The only thing I can think is maybe they muted it while she's talking about her underage son, maybe? For like to keep him like anonymous or whatever. Hold on, let me fast forward a little bit and see when we can get some audio.
18.
Okay, there we
How's
go.
that,
I'd say that's what they were doing because now she's talking about her daughter.
18.
how's that working out for you guys? Too much time together? Or?
No, it's great. Actually, no, it really is great. She's a great kid. I love working with her.
Look, Angela, may I call you Angela, or would you prefer Miss LaChance?
No, Angela's fine.
Thank you. You know why we're here, why you're here today, and I want to now focus on April 4th of last year. Can you just begin and introduce us to what was going on earlier the night for you and your family?
Sorry. We were
She's already
all
crying.
off, well, myself and Kendra were off of work that night, so we were just kind of having a family night. We had made dinner. We had all retired up to our bedrooms. It was about, 10 o'clock or so. Myself and Kyle were in our room. Kendra was in her room. My son was in his room playing video games.
Okay. Tell us a little bit, I think we know, but what was going on outside?
It was snowing.
All right. And not just snowing, right? This was a pretty big
It was
storm.
a pretty big, the biggest one of the year, I'm pretty sure.
What was your plan, and not to get too far in the weeds of this, but what was your plan for clearing the snow from your driveway?
My daughter's friend, her father plows, and he was supposed to come plow our driveway. We were going back and forth between text messages for quite some time, and he didn't show up when he said he was going to show up. And quite a few hours had gone by, so I really didn't think that he was going to show up. So our plan essentially was going to be to have to go out and shovel by hand.
All right. Plan B, shovels by hand.
Yep.
Create some degree of anxiety, concern among everybody?
Yeah, of course, it was a lot of snow.
And did you need to use cars in the morning?
Yes, yep.
Who lived next door to you, I guess as you are facing the house to your right?
Jason Levesque and his parents.
And you said that there was kind of a plan A for your plowing and then a plan B by hand. Look, had there been any concerns about the volume of snow out front?
Well, yeah, the snow piles up from the plow going through the street, and then it got built up even more by Mr. Levesque.
And so had that been an issue prior to this night?
Yes.
In what way? How can you describe how you've seen the process work before?
He would plow his snow from the front of his driveway past our telephone pole, build up a pile in front of the street, and then push it in front of our driveway.
Okay. And you say there would be a pile near or just beyond the
telephone pole, yeah.
And was that a first step? And then what
Yeah.
followed? And then what was the second step?
He would, because obviously he can't leave it in the street, he would ultimately push it at the end of our driveway.
Okay. And did that include the snow that was then backpulled out of his driveway?
Yes.
And had that been a, tension point prior to the 4th?
It had happened at least one time before.
Okay. You were just talking about a family night moving towards, sounds like, closer to bedtime, with people dispersed in your home, doing their own thing.
Yeah.
What happened after that?
When we realized that Kendra's friend's father was probably not going to show up and we were going to have to plow by hand, Kyle noticed that Mr. Levesque was plowing his snow to the end of our driveway, which essentially would have made it more difficult for us to plow by hand. So he went out to ask him not to do that.
Can I ask you to provide kind of a sequence of events where you went to?
Yeah, so after he grabbed his hoodie, he went to walk out. I went into Kendra's room. I said, your dad just went out to go talk to the neighbor. Me and Kendra walked downstairs into the living room. We were kind of just walking around the living room. And then we went to the bay window next to the screen porch where the video camera is.
Understood.
And we were looking outside.
So this may be obvious. We were out there yesterday, I think
Yeah.
you know, and you're describing there were 2 bay windows facing your house from your driveway. Are you
Yeah.
talking about the one to the left or to the right?
If you're facing my screen porch,
Yep.
it's to the left.
If you're facing the screen
If you're
porch,
facing my house.
then it's the first one to the
Yeah,
left. Okay.
yeah.
And you said you were both looking outside from there, and there was a surveillance camera from a similar angle. Is that fair?
Yeah, so the surveillance camera comes from the top left-hand side of the window, and myself and Kendra were just, in the, looking from the middle, Kendra was on the right.
After the events occurred outside,
Yeah.
did you have contact with law enforcement, any police officers?
Yes,
Did you agree to provide the surveillance footage from that camera to law enforcement?
yes, I gave it to them that night. I provided Kyle's phone because our cameras are on an app that was on his phone. We couldn't get onto the app on his phone, so I emailed it to them, I airdropped it to them, I provided multiple different ways of them having that video.
And that night, did they come inside at some point after this event and actually view
Yes.
your phone?
Yes,
Are you aware whether or not they actually then took a screen video of your screen video as well, or
Yes.
short term?
yeah,
Okay. Look, I don't want to gratuitously do this, unnecessarily do this, but we watched that video yesterday.
Yeah.
And I want to play an abbreviated version. I don't think we need to go through the whole thing.
Sure.
Certainly defer to the defense, but I want to show you a portion of that because I have some follow-up questions for you.
okay.
Okay? Bear with me just a second, Your Honor. May we set up? We managed to upgrade. Okay, we'll get it. Yep.
They upgraded? What they do? Did they put a big screen TV on the wall like they should have? That would be nice. But doing the roll around part that the substitute teacher brings out whenever,
And Your Honor, for the record, this is State's Exhibit 2 as a full exhibit.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so it's still a TV
Judge,
that they
this will
pull in
just take a
front of the
minute.
jury. So we still ain't gonna get to see nothing.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, may the witness leave the stand and approach the well. Yep.
So annoying.
His voice seems to carry fairly well, but I'm just going to bring this down. And
Hey, Mary Lou. Hey, darling. Get ready for work.
my breath. Angela, do you recognize this image?
Yes, that's the image from the surveillance camera in my bay window.
Thank you. Council, can we play and spare? I don't know that everybody needs to see the plowing again, but perhaps when Mr. Violette leaves the residence. And can you identify this person?
That's Kyle.
You had described him putting on a hoodie. Did you see him do that?
Yes.
If I could stop there. Are you able to see Mr. Levesque's truck door open in the left corner adjacent to the house?
Yes.
Okay. And you had just said, there he goes.
Yep.
Who are you referring to?
I'm referring to Jason getting out of his truck.
All right. And can I have you continue? Can I pause it here? You just said, I hope he doesn't do anything stupid.
Yes.
Who are you talking about?
Mr. Levesque.
And are you able to hear from your, I guess, vantage point, the conversation or words exchanged, but if any, between Levesque and...
No, we were not able to hear anything.
Okay. Could we continue to play? We stop. Can you tell who it is that backs away or separates from the truck?
In which part?
This part here, the individual on the right to your knowledge is...
That's Kyle.
Okay.
That I can see right there by the pole.
All right. Please.
No, he's getting up. He has to come out of the jail. Hey! He just shot him! He just shot him! Hey!
Can you rewind just back to approximately the point where she indicates he has a gun? Good. Pause, please. You yelled at about this point that he has a gun.
That was Kendra.
Kendra, were you able to see the firearm?
So when Kendra noticed the gun, I was walking towards the window, but I was looking down. When she yelled, "He has a gun," I looked up and I witnessed the first shot to the face.
Could you tell that he had a firearm in his hand?
Yes.
And was there anything about the lighting or the distance that prohibited you from seeing what he had in his hand?
Nothing at all. I had a very clear view.
Were you able to see whether Kyle had anything in his hand or brandished anything in his hand during your period of observation?
No, Kyle never brandished anything or had anything in his hand.
And can you roll this?
No, he's getting up. He has to come out of the jail. Hey! He just shot him!
Can you pause it? What direction was Kyle proceeding in when the first shot was fired?
Kyle was starting to walk home.
And the next 5 shots, were you able to tell what direction he was proceeding when they were fired?
Kyle was already on the ground from the first shot.
And his movements, in what direction did he go?
He was trying to army crawl home.
Can you just proceed? Who is this?
That's Kendra.
And who is this?
That's me.
I think that's good. Ma'am, could Could you resume the witness stand, please?
Hey, Rosebud. Good to see you, girlfriend. Where you been? I've missed your face. This is an attempted murder trial. Two neighbors arguing over somebody snowplowing, and one shot the other. But he lived. So this is attempted murder. Yep. They say that they are going to Rosebud. Yeah, this is the victim's wife here.
Sorry, man.
Donnie, I'm not sure.
Not
I don't know if they're
proceed
going to continue with this video again or not. I'm
We just
sure they
left
will
off where
on
you
Cross,
went
but
outside. Can you describe how Kyle appeared to you? When
yes,
you reached him?
Latanya.
When I went outside, he was curled up in a ball by the
Yes.
telephone pole, bleeding profusely. I called 911 immediately.
What's your estimate of how long it took for law enforcement to respond?
Only a couple of minutes, it was very fast.
And from there, can you just briefly describe to us the sequence of events that you experienced?
Yeah, one of the officers started
So they
rendering
will
aid,
testify, okay.
while the other officers took Mr. Levesque into custody.
And when you say rendering aid, did they render aid at the scene, at that location?
Yeah, I believe one of the officers ripped his shirt off. They had to turn him over onto his side because he was choking on the blood from the first shot to the face.
Were you there for that?
Yes.
And can you just confirm for us that Kyle was taken from the scene by ambulance to a local hospital?
Yeah, first he was taken by ambulance to Frisbee. I met him there.
And can you just describe for us the sequence of events and what happens next in terms of...
I couldn't get my car out of the driveway, so I had to call one of my coworkers who came and picked me up, and she brought me to Frisbee. They immediately let me back into the room where Kyle was. They had taken off most of his clothing. They had to cut it off. He was not conscious. He was still alive, but he was not conscious. They told me that he had lost a good portion of his blood and that they were...
I just have to object to what you were saying, sir.
But I understand the objection, Your Honor. I'll rephrase and focus. When I'm asking about the experience, it's not necessary, and other witnesses would have to provide the actual assessment. And so I'd ask you not to convey through hearsay what the doctors told you.
Oh, sure.
I just want to get a sequence of your experience. Where did you go? How long were you at Frisbee?
He was not at... I couldn't tell you exactly how long we were there. It was not very long. He was transported to Portsmouth shortly after.
What did you do from there?
I went to Portsmouth. I had my coworker drive me to Portsmouth.
And were you able to see Kyle at Portsmouth?
I was not able to see Kyle at Portsmouth because he was in emergency surgery.
And how long did your estimate, and again, I don't need to hold you to an exact, but how long do you think you were at Portsmouth?
Maybe a couple of hours.
And what happened next?
They took him to Boston Medical Center.
You know how he got down there?
Yeah, by ambulance.
And what did you do?
I went home to check on my children because they had stayed home. And then I went to Boston.
And how often were you able to see Kyle in Boston?
I stayed with Kyle in Boston from the day he got there until the day he went home.
Approximately how long was he admitted to the Boston facility?
April 5th to May 1st.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, I'd like to approach.
Ooh, a big congratulations to him. That's awesome, Rosebud. Keeping himself busy, huh? Oh, well, that's good too.
Court's permission, I'd like to approach, show this witness what's been marked as State's Exhibit 19 as a full exhibit. Counsel is 260 severed.
Just double check. We have no problem with it. And that's okay.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you.
Angela, I'm going to show you a photograph from that time. It's February 6, 19. You recognize that photograph?
That's Kyle.
Is that a fair and accurate depiction of how he appeared?
Yes.
Better than Your Honor, can I ask the court to indulge me and remind the jurors that they'll have full access to any exhibits that are
Yeah, I'm about to do that. So while you take your time looking at it now, understand you'll have an opportunity, any full exhibits you'll have an opportunity to look at later in the jury room. Very good. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Angela, he said he was, released from the hospital. What was his, for instance, his last medical appointment related to these events?
The last medical appointment he just had was in the beginning of March, and he just went for a CAT scan it was Tuesday, I think, Monday or Tuesday? Monday.
Remember where Kyle was working before these events?
Yeah, he was working at Eldridge Lumber in Portsmouth.
Doing what?
He would it's not a mill yard where they make the wood, they sell it. So he would stock the shelves, help people if they came in to buy the lumber, load their trucks, stuff like that.
Been able to return to work?
No,
Physically, how is he today?
I'm still recovering.
And can you describe kind of his mental state concerning these events now?
He certainly is not the same person mentally that he was before this happened. He has severe PTSD. He's very depressed. He has a lot of anxiety because a lot of paranoia.
Is he still at home with you?
Yes.
No, if we could just have a minute. Angela, this may sound like a strange question, but there's some legal obligations on my part. But I need to ask you, are you able to identify Jason Levesque in the courtroom today?
Yes, he's right over there.
And could you please identify him by some description of clothing or his appearance?
He's the man sitting right there with the dark beard, with the gray suit on and the blue undershirt.
Thank you. Your Honor, may the record reflect that this witness has identified the defendant as the individual depicted in the images that she's referred to. Thank you, Your Honor. Angela, those were my questions. I appreciate your time. As you know, Attorney Sisti will likely have some questions for you as well.
Sure, thank you.
If I may, Judge.
Yes.
I know he's going to bring up the part where, because during his questioning yesterday, you guys remember, he was like, well, whenever you hear a voice say, he better not do anything stupid, I think that he was trying to say that she was saying that about her husband. You know, he better not go out there and try to pick a fight, basically. And she just said on the stand that she was talking about the neighbor, not her husband. So, you know. Anyway, I think he's probably going to grill her on that.
Morning.
Good morning.
I do have a few questions,
Sure.
and nobody wants to put you through this kind of stuff. You understand that, right?
I do.
Okay, good. Prior to this date, did you ever have a conversation with Jason?
I had never spoken to that man ever.
Correct. You've never spoken to that man ever, and he has never approached you before that date, ever.
No.
I think I may be having a technical difficulty.
Here?
Yeah.
We don't want to technical. Technical back. Bad way to stop a trial. I'm sorry, Mark. Tell us when you're coming.
Sorry.
Okay, let's get back to it. You never had a conversation with him, right?
No.
He never had a conversation with you, right?
No.
He never had a bad word for you, right?
No, I never spoken to him before.
Yeah, right, okay. And how long were you there from the time you left Farmington?
At the time of the incident, it was 2 years we were living there.
And again, I don't know if I
Kel,
heard you
right.
right. Was there a particular reason you left Farmington?
No,
And I'm not going to lie, I kind of felt like that too. Maybe she knows her husband's a hothead, you know. But then again, you know, maybe the husband has had words with him before, you know, and maybe they've argued about, because apparently this is something that has occurred before, you know, they act like he's been a problem before. I don't know, but, you know, maybe him and the husband have bickered back and forth before, being next door neighbors, you know, and she might have meant the neighbor. She might have been like, I hope he don't do something stupid, because last time, you know, he went out there and said something to him about plowing, he cussed him all to pieces or whatever, you know. Who knows? I don't know.
we just got a new place. It happened to be in Rochester.
All right, even though the kids were comfortable in the school, you wanted to go to Rochester, is that the deal?
Yeah.
On that particular night, actually, I think you may have made a little bit of a mistake, but I don't want to get too technical. It actually wasn't snowing at the time, at about 10 o'clock p.m. on that night, correct? Snow had stopped.
I'm not really sure.
You're not sure? I want to make sure that we're sure of a lot of things here. Actually, let me ask you a kind of a goofy question, I guess.
Sure.
You were having problems and anxiety about the driveway being plowed.
Yes, my daughter's friend, father was supposed to come plow us out with his plow truck.
Okay. And you all had to get out in the morning, and you were concerned about that.
Yes.
And you were actually kind of anxious about having to hand shovel the whole thing.
I wouldn't call it anxious. We were concerned that we were going to have to shovel by hand. Yes, it wasn't. No.
Well, you saw in the video there was a guy right next door with a plow, right?
Yes.
Did anybody have the idea that maybe you could go out and ask that guy right there?
Actually, my mother, who used to live in the front of our house, had asked Mr. Levesque one time prior when it snowed.
I'm going to ask you, did you or Kyle have the idea that maybe you could go right next door
So they've had problems.
because you were in some trouble and ask him to plow your driveway?
No, because he had refused it before.
To you?
To my mother.
So you don't know what happened there, do you?
I wasn't present, no, but she told me.
Okay, so let's talk about you and Kyle.
Sure.
Neither you nor Kyle had the idea to go and ask him politely to just plow your driveway, right?
No, we didn't ask him.
Okay. And that idea never came up, or it never came up in conversation?
No, we never talked about it.
Now, at some point in time, around, I guess it was a little after 10 o'clock p.m., Kyle decides to go out to talk to Jason, right?
Yes.
And was he a bit perturbed?
He was, I don't know, a bit perturbed, I guess, that he was plowing the snow at the end of our driveway, yes.
Well, actually, you say that, but we're going to play that video again in a second, all right?
Yeah, sure.
We will. And the end of your driveway, of course, is on one side of the telephone pole, right?
Yes.
And on the other side of the telephone pole, there's no driveway there.
Yeah, that's where his porch, Mr. Levesque's porch is.
Right. In fact, the driveway itself actually isn't at the edge of the telephone pole. It actually starts about 8 feet in,
Okay.
right? I mean, you live there.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'll show you a photo if you need to see it still.
Sure.
Okay. I don't want to be messing around. I want to make sure we're talking about the same thing. 294 in evidence. That's what I'm
Thank you, Clint.
I'm sorry. Could we have this?
She's like, you're not going to intimidate me, Mr. Ponytail Man.
I'm going to show you what we've marked as defendant D for identification.
Yes.
Here's what it said.
That is the front of Jason Levesque's house, and my driveway is to the left if you're looking at the picture.
Okay, is that a pretty good picture?
Yes.
Accurately shows that.
Yes.
Okay, the ID's written.
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection, the ID's written.
Mr. Ponytail Man, right, Brenda?
Before I show it to the jury, I just want to make sure we got this set up properly. We've got the utility pole, right?
Yes.
And the utility pole is basically right in the center of this picture.
I wouldn't call that the center.
It's on the side of your drive.
His house is in the center of the picture.
Okay, the pole is on the side of your drive.
Right.
Looking at the photograph, the pole is to the right of your drive.
Correct.
Thank you, Lola. Hey, sweet Lola.
I'm going to ask that the video be played a little bit in a minute, okay? But I want to be clear here. Levesque wasn't plowing your driveway that day, right?
He was not plowing my driveway now.
And the Department of Public Works had plowed the road that day, right?
Yes.
And your concern was that they had plowed in front of your driveway, right?
They had already plowed in front of my driveway, correct?
Okay. And that was a concern because you got to bust through that by hand the next day if nobody comes to plow, right?
Right.
Okay. And that was the concern that you folks were talking about just prior to Kyle approaching Jason, right?
Yeah, the concern was that he was piling more snow that we were going to have to shovel.
Okay, I want to be clear because we're going to see the video again. Okay?
Sure.
All right. And we know which side of the pole, is what and where the driveway is, right?
Yep.
And the photo I showed you is accurate as to where the driveway is, right?
Yep. And you can see that the side of my driveway by Mr. Levesque's house, the telephone pole is right by the end of that part, and we do park our cars there as well.
Again,
just a side note, I put it on 1.25 speed. If that's too fast for you guys, let me know in the chat and I'll put it back to the normal speed. I just, thought that it would help get through things.
That's fine. I'm not arguing with you at all, okay? But that pole's not part of your driveway.
No, the pole is at the corner of my driveway.
Right. In fact, there's a few feet before you get to your driveway from the pole.
I couldn't tell you exactly how far from my driveway.
Okay. All right. We're going to get to it in a second. So it actually wasn't snowing. You didn't ask Levesque to plow the snow. Your claim is that he was plowing snow into your driveway?
Yes, he was plowing some snow in front of my driveway.
And you were claiming that that's actually what you saw?
Yes.
Have you seen this entire video yet?
I have seen the entire video multiple times.
Okay, good. All right. Now, in that particular video as well, there is additional comments from you. Not only did you say, I hope he doesn't do anything stupid. And today you claim that you're referring to Jason.
Yes.
And you say, I hope he doesn't do anything fucking dumb.
Yes.
And today you're claiming that that has to do with Jason.
It does.
Did you tell the police that at any point in time?
Yes, I did.
You did? And which police officer did you discuss?
I'm not sure. I talked to so many.
Talked to so many. Well, let me tell you something, okay? Before you said those two things, you also said something, okay? As Kyle was crossing the driveway toward Jason, remember what you said?
Yep, there he goes.
There he goes.
Yep.
What were you referring to there?
Mr. Levesque getting out of his truck.
He wasn't getting out of the truck.
The door had opened.
Yeah, we're gonna play the video.
Okay, that's fine.
Again, you were asked by the prosecution as to whether or not you could hear any exchange of words out in the road.
Right.
And you claim you couldn't hear a thing, right?
No, I couldn't hear anything.
I mean, most critically, you certainly didn't hear Jason say anything, right?
I didn't hear either of them say anything.
Okay. So what happened out in that road, in any exchange, you would have no idea.
Not the words, no.
You wouldn't know if there was a threat, right?
I wouldn't know, no.
From your observations, did you see a young lady out there with Jason as well?
No, I did not.
We could set up to
Yeah, Kel, his tone, he's, I don't know, I just don't. Says at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who she was referring to. She's not the one on trial.
Take it from the beginning, where there's actual plowing taking place. And that's the jury. I'm going to ask you, why don't you take a look too, so we're all looking together if we can.
Attorney City, is it set up? I can't tell if you guys.
Yeah, I think you're okay.
No, jury seat. Thank you.
Ma'am, just so before we started, that dark mark across the center, that's just part of the window, right?
That's just part of the window, yes.
Okay, that doesn't indicate any kind of a clearance on the driveway or anything else?
No.
Okay, all right, good. If we could start the video, please. And I'll ask you a few questions as we go, if that's okay. Okay. Did you see that at all on the window?
I wasn't looking out the window at this point when he was plowing.
Okay. Now, would you agree he's not plowing anything in front of your driveway, right?
Not at this moment, no.
Okay. can you stop it right there? Now, he did plow in front of his home, correct?
Yes.
And he plowed right up to the pole, right?
Yes.
He did not plow over to the other side of the pole, correct?
He was still actively plowing.
I understand, we're looking at this right now. He is.
The edge of my driveway is shortly after that pole. Like I said, we utilize both lanes of the driveway, and my driveway starts shortly after the pole on the right-hand side.
That is correct. And he has not plowed any snow on that side?
In this rain, yes, he did stop the pole.
Thank you. We can continue. Stop it right there. You did exactly the same thing, right?
Yes, I pushed the snow out towards my driveway.
It's not over your driveway, correct?
It is almost at my driveway, yes. My driveway is shortly right there.
The question is, it wasn't in your driveway, correct?
Not in my driveway,
Thank you.
no.
We can continue. We can stop it right there. Again, that's not in your driveway, right?
No.
Thank you. We can go again. Now, were you looking out the window at this time?
No.
Okay. Stop it again. That didn't go in your driveway either, did it?
No.
Thank you. You can go again. Okay, so stop. He's not plowing anymore, right?
No.
And who is going out through the driveway again?
That's Kyle.
Okay, can we back it up just a second? Is this when you looked outside?
No.
You did not look outside at that point?
No, me and my daughter were in the living room at this point. You can see the curtain move when
Hold
you
on.
look outside.
You did not see Kyle go into the driveway?
No.
Okay, keep going.
Right there.
Okay.
Yep, there it goes.
Yep, there he goes.
Yep, that you can see Mr. Levesque get out of the truck right there.
Okay, can you stop? Mr. Levesque's not even looking at Kyle, is he?
That's what I was referring to when I said that. He was out of his truck. You can see him by the cardboard.
You didn't say anything about, uh-oh, he's getting out of the truck. You didn't say anything like that.
No, that's just how I worded it. I'm sorry. I don't know why I worded it that way.
Well, let me ask you, that's the first time you saw Kyle, right? Right out the window.
Yes.
There he goes.
Yep.
Yep. Thank you. Take a seat.
Now that you're done with the video?
I am.
Thank you. We'll restart that.
So the first time you see Kyle through the window, your first statement is, there he goes, right?
Yeah, that's what it looks like on camera, but that's not what I was referring to.
Again, that's what it says, and that's what it looks like on camera, right?
Sure, that's what it looks like.
And then the second thing you say shortly after that is, I hope he doesn't do anything stupid. Right?
Yes, I do say that.
And you refer to the same he, right?
Yes.
And then the last thing you say is, I hope he doesn't do anything fucking dumb.
Right. I do say that as well.
And as we look through that entire video, and now that you've seen it and it's fresh in your mind,
Yep.
fresh in your mind,
Yes.
you will agree with me that Jason plowed no snow in front of your driveway.
He might have stopped his plow at the telephone pole, but every time he piled more snow, it pushed the snowbank in front of my driveway.
And I'm sure the jury will take a very close look at that video.
I'm sure they will too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Just briefly, look, I don't want to belabor this plowing thing too much, okay?
Right.
But I just got to ask you, you saw these kind of 4 swipes towards your pole.
Sure.
Do you know the sequence of Mr. Levesque's plowing of his own driveway?
What
You
do
know, in other words, do you know what was going to happen to the...
It's straight speculation.
Sure. You had mentioned a prior kind of plowing incident that
Yes.
raised some tensions.
Right.
Did that prior plowing event actually come to an end? Did he finish plowing?
He did finish plowing.
Okay. Did it appear that he had finished plowing in the video that you saw?
No, he was not done plowing.
Okay. Candidly, those are the questions I have.
When was that other thing, so we can be real accurate?
I couldn't tell you the exact date.
Thank you.
Does we have another witness available? I don't know what the court's plan is in terms of brief morning break.
So, okay, that's what I'm saying. They've had other run-ins before, and I can't imagine there would have been no reason for him to come out of the house to be like, unless to say, dude, just please make sure that you don't cover my driveway like you did speculating. Don't come out and cover my driveway up like you did the last time, or, you know what I mean? Because it just seems like they've had other instances. Otherwise, if he had never done that, if he had never done anything wrong before, why would the victim have felt like he needed to go outside to say anything? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense.
Thank you.
Please rise.
Okay, so they're taking
Jury
a quick
departing.
morning break. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Through another witness, through Detective Garston, portions of the defendant.
Okay, so we just zoom
Through
zoomed.
another witness, through Detective Garston, portions of the defendant's statement to police investigators. One of them was that after he was initially shot, that he continued to yell at the defendant in an aggressive manner. Not only did he not go drop to the ground, but he continued to yell. The nature of the injury and the capacity of the victim to actually speak in clear terms is likewise depicted both physically and by audio in this particular image. In other words, he's able to articulate through grunts that he's shot in the face. But these are hardly associated with, I think, the aggressive screams that were depicted or claimed by the defendant in his interview. So for those 3 reasons, notwithstanding the graphic nature of these images, it's the state's position that they're highly relevant and more so than prejudicial.
First of all, thank you very much. We are going to do traffic. I will stipulate that the bottom injury is back. This morning, I was shown a series of photographs by the state. I agree, young people put it in. They help show Kyle and I'll bring them up. Every specific wound. The issue of the gravity of the injuries is not at dispute at all. The body cam, and you're going to have to watch it later from my course, but the body cam is unbelievable prejudicial. And the situation is adequately explained by the witness himself when he takes the stand. In other words, what that body came to do is nothing more, in essence, it's nothing more than a consistent prior statement of what he already did testify. It's not admissible. We're not even going to question it. All right. What he's going to say is that he decided he went through a number of emergency medical procedures, and he eventually handed Kyle off to the EMT. That's it in a nutshell. And he can describe all the injuries he wants, but watching an individual writhing around on the ground, and watching bloody details of ripping off his clothes, is not. It's nothing more than just kind of prejudicial. It's outrageously prejudicial. Frankly, it's irrelevant at this point in time. We agreed that he had serious bodily injury. We agreed on holding that it was a miracle, that it was extraordinary medical procedures. We would do the whole thing. Okay? I agree to all the injuries. I agree that they were caused by both of them. I agree he was in dire straits. I agree he had to go to hospital. I agree he had to be treated at the scene. I agree he had to be treated at 3 different hospitals. I mean, it's just, frankly, overdone.
And I'll again reiterate, the defense starts out with it's prejudicial. It's got to be unfairly so, and there has to then be this additional balancing with probative aspects of this evidence as well. It may be prejudicial in the sense that it advances the state's case, but it is not unduly prejudicial. And to the extent that, again, that the defense characterizes it as unfair by its graphic nature, that is the nature of this case. And they brought certain issues into, heightened scrutiny by making such claims as, he could have killed him if he wanted to, as in suggesting that these sort of were, only partway there. And the other one is, hey, he got what you deserved. In other words, you got to weigh out the words that he made, and the defense wants to focus heavily on that, but now start to discount, filter, and really whitewash the consequences, which are what he deserved. Let's see what he deserved. It's depicted here. And then again, I do want to stress the importance of the fact that he really is diminished in terms of his ability to yell in any kind of threatening manner, which is something the defendant stated during his police interview immediately after these events. And that's from the first shot, which I got to say, again, raises a focused probative value here, a heightened probative value. And I think the court can make appropriate limiting instructions that this is not about passion or other factors, but is only considered for the relevance of contested issues. If the defense wants a limiting instruction, the court can take that avenue. But we have, by the way, filtered this jury, addressed this jury from the get-go about their capacity to see and hear and weigh graphic evidence. And this is what we were talking about.
No, this is not what we were talking about.
I don't either, Miss King. I don't get it.
Specific injuries.
What are they doing?
Each and every one of the contentions that was just made by the prosecution can be made out by those photographs and the actual observations of the medical personnel.
It's just weird.
You don't need to see a human being stripped in the snowbank, with blood all over the place, all right, and emergency medical techniques being performed. You don't need that in order to buttress the argument that he was in extremely serious physical condition. And by the way, nobody was there at the time when the immediate gunshot took place, and whether or not he was able to articulate at the time. I agree. He couldn't articulate 3 or 4 minutes later. If that's a bonus contention, take it. It doesn't make any difference to me. Okay? It doesn't make any difference to the case. But what I'm saying is that you don't have a 702 expert coming in here who is a detective in a police department or a fire department that's saying 4 or 5 minutes ago they wouldn't be able to talk. All right? I mean, that's beyond scope here. I mean, you're not going to
They want to draw. They will draw themselves, right?
But they,
There you go, Elizabeth.
that's the inference they
It's
want
the
to draw.
Ichabod
But
Crane.
seeing somebody treated afterwards doesn't maintain that inference. All right? And if you want to backtrack and come to that conclusion, throw a witness on the stand and let's examine the witness.
But in terms of prejudice is whether it would inflame their passion or their sympathy, whether that inflaming the passion or sympathy will override their ability to render their verdict.
That's one. But again, what's the need to show this video? Why do we need to show this video? I am giving a full exhibit agreement to each and every wound on his body. I'm not contesting medical synopsis coming in that will indicate the seriousness of the injuries. And
Another need is the right analysis. I mean, in terms of the state, the case that they want is not necessarily prejudicial or inflammatory or right.
well, isn't it? Because is it cumulative? All right. question. What is it really saying? It's saying, I am a police officer. I have a body cam. Well, he can testify, all right, to what he saw, what he did. If I cross-examine him and question him, I agree, they can put in any snippets they want from his body cam, his buttress, his credibility, or his recollection. But I assure you, I'm probably not even going to cross-examine this guy.
Well, obviously, first step is I need to see the video. Right? I can't make a decision in the document without having seen it. Right. Assess the extent to which it would be inflammatory or invoke a prejudice or such thing. So unfortunately, I'm going to take another little break so that I can do video. So if you let the jury know when these people come up, we're going to have them hang on for a few more minutes. And then we'll make a decision after that as to whether we get definitely before lunch. Thank you. But I'll decide that in a minute. So what's the easiest way for me to make this video?
Your Honor's preference, I have it hooked up to my computer right now. I can bring it up to the bench and you can do it there. I'm more than comfortable with the chambers.
Yeah, I'm taking the chamber. I mean,
For flash track, are you able to play it on your phone track there?
no, I better take your advice. They get each of us.
Your Honor, do you want counsel as well?
Do you think you'd like that?
I don't think so.
Counsel, do you want to be there while I watch the video, or do you?
If there's questions, yeah, I mean, I think we should be back.
Okay. Well, let's go to the chamber, so we will watch the video, and we'll be back. All right.
I honestly couldn't understand anything that they were saying just now, so they're going into the judge's chambers for something. Could you guys make out any of that? I will go scroll past. Okay, looks like they're back now. Okay.
No, we don't need to hear it.
Okay. Thank you, Miss King. Thank you, thank you.
All right. The court, the court at this point has had the opportunity to view the video. I would like some additional time to consider the issues and before I make my final decision. Given the timing, it's now 11:42. I think it makes sense to take a lunch break now and tell the jury we're going to break for lunch and we're going to come back here at for 1 and quarter 1 and we'll do that one and I'll give you my ruling at that one.
Can we do 1 o'clock?
All right, we can do 1 o'clock. That's fine. We'll give them a little bit longer lunch break. So if you have the jury control, we're going to start back up at 1 o'clock. Give my apologies. And we will do that.
Understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, brief clarifying question. We discussed in chambers a cutoff point in the video where there's some extraneous footage that I think both parties agree is particularly necessary in this case. Is there an assumption that that video would be then edited down?
Well, let's cross that bridge when we come to it. Let's figure out.
I only ask because it'll take a few minutes to make those edits on my end, so
I think that can be, I think you can assume if I'm going to, if I were going to allow it, it would be shorter than what.
Okay. That was essentially my question. Thank you, Your Honor.
Assume that. All right, thank you very much. We'll see you at 1 o'clock. All right.
Okay.
I don't think I need to see it. Okay. I need to do some legal thinking, but I don't need to see the video. All right, thank you.
All right, so they're going to go to lunch, and I just made the, let me go grab it.
It would be the same, it would be the same one, right? Oh, okay. I didn't want to take that off.
Okay. Copy. All right, here is, I'm going to put it in, goodness gracious. Stream for part 2 after lunch. All right. Here in the chat is the link for part 2. He says they're going to come back after lunch at 1 p.m., but because kiddos' math class starts at 1 virtually, I've got the schedule starting at 2. So we'll be behind, but still we'll be able to, speed through the breaks and watch it at 1.25 when we need to and all that jazz. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off here for now. And I've got to make a grocery list. I've got a grocery list written down. I just got to get it on Walmart, get some stuff ordered, grab myself some lunch, and then we'll be back here at 2 o'clock. Okay? The link, like I said, is in the chat. So make sure to grab it. And make sure to hit the thumbs up button here before you leave. And hit the thumbs up button on the new one, because it really does help a lot. I will appreciate it forever. Okay, Patricia. Brenda says I'll probably have to catch the replay from this afternoon. So just in case, have a great day. All right. You too, Brenda. I hope you have a great day. All right. I'll see you guys back at 2 o'clock. Love you, mean it. Bye.